members are there.
Right. So should we start or we'll wait for some more time? What shall we do?
Yeah, we'll do the same thing. Let the audience introduce themselves and their questions, and then we'll quickly start.
Right. So this is actually a really an important training. Actually, the data integrity. Well, so we'll wait for a few more people. If at all somebody wants to join, another 5 minutes down the line. That's fine. So may I know the audience? I think may I know whom I am talking to. So I am Suresh Bomareddy. I am here with shop floor experience of around 25 years, and I work in multiple companies at multiple levels. Majorly, my work is into QA, quality assurance and quality management system. For a pretty long time, I worked as a quality management systems in charge, and I was responsible for all the review of the documents. And majority of the times, I was the one who is blamed for all the batches to be holded. Sometimes, I have got some really nasty, nasty kind of decisions that are supposed to be made. So I am into quality assurance all my working years. So just say hi, and so that I can know you guys, and just tell me your name and your work and company currently, so that I can customize myself with you. I think my audio is clear now. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah. So your names and your companies. Anyone? Or if you can tell me your name and the company where you are working upon, and a kind of your experience, I think I can just customize my talk to the actual requirements what you have. Anybody can start.
Sir, this is Kalyan Chakravarti, sir.
Hi, Kalyan.
I am working as a microbiology assistant manager in Pharma Private Limited, sir.
Right. Very nice.
I am having total experience of 11 years, sir, in different departments like QA and microbiology and AQA, like that, sir. This is my
Very nice. Welcome to the session, Kalyan.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else? Could you see me? You can just raise your hand. Could you listen to me? Could you see me? You can just raise your hand. Well, Veerapratap, I could see you. Very nice. So, I respect the time. Prasad, yes, I could see Prasad. Oh, Sunday lunch actually is heavy, Nice. So, should we start? I think it's already 1:10. I think we have given 10 minutes time, and we don't waste further.
Yes.
Praveen, I think should we start now?
Yes, sir, please.
Very well. So I am really like the audience to tell their names, but that's fine. We can I could see your names on the screen somehow, and wherever you feel it is a bit going off the track, I think I want you guys to raise your hand. That should be fine. So is there anyone who don't understand Telugu in the group? Just raise your hand. Anyone who don't understand Telugu?
Sir, I think maybe These are all my team, Ramso team. So they well know Telugu, sir. Because of those people, I'm take care of. I'm like that, sir. Okay. Please carry on, sir. In English or local language also no issue, sir.
Right, it would be a combination always. Data integrity is one thing which we need to be absolutely localized. Let me tell you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's right. So I just keep going with the slide deck, just like how we do generally on the online sessions, and I want you to follow the slides and the instructions. Maybe any trouble you have, you can actually stop me whenever you can. Praveen, please keep a watch. If somebody wants to ask a question, raise a hand. I think you can just ask me to stop for a moment.
Yes.
Well, so shall we get into the slideshows? All right. So we see what data integrity. See, data integrity. Anybody in the pharma industry who has worked for at least a couple of years or a couple of months, in fact, nowadays, they know what is data integrity is. So data integrity, they say, we have got a kind of elaborative documentation where we are supposed to do everything what is right, and we don't do something which is wrong. That's what actually they keep talking about. See, there are so many apprehensions with data integrity. Auditors have got their own way of looking at it. Managers, seniors, or the bosses, or the owners of the company, they look at data integrity in a different way, and the employees look in a different way. So this training session for 1 hour or so, I'll just try to see what is beyond Alcoa. Alcoa is there. We have got all the 5 principles aligned. We'll have a look at it, but that will be a starting one. And from then on, we'll try to see what could be a strategy and what could be the triggering points that data integrity can be identified. So anybody who is having a working knowledge on the documents on the shop floor, it is really important for them to know what is data integrity and the way how the weightage is given in their careers, not only in the company but the entire career. It depends on the data integrity and the knowledge and how we are actually dealing with data integrity things. So this session, I hope this is going to be a very useful session if we can have certain things, not only for the job you are doing right now, but for the entire career. Right? Pharma is behind it. Okay. So I'm just sharing my slideshow. You can just have a look at it and follow the instructions thereon. Well, so this is the screen that I am sharing. So could you see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So at least one. Yeah. So if somebody says yes, then I think I'll go ahead with that. So we'll see how actually the data integrity works around and how it is going to affect our lives. Sometimes in a very positive way and sometimes in a very negative way. Alcoa plus and plus. These are the principles actually we actually talk about when we talk about data integrity. But let me tell you, this is very, very basic situation. Alcoa is the base principles, and there is much more beyond data integrity that we need to see. But to start with, I think we'll just start talking about Alcoa, just to have a glimpse of it, and then we'll go ahead with the other things. So now here this is. So the Alcoa, the first A in Alcoa is an abbreviation which actually spells out to ALCOA, and A, the first A is attributable. What do you mean by attributable? Okay, so there is something. Say for example, we see many a times we see that you find, say for example, you found a 100 rupee note somewhere on the road or some other places. you have found 100 rupees note and you are holding it, and somebody asks you, whose money is this? Could we say something? We can't say anything because whose money we don't know. Who is holding the money is the owner of it. That's all, nothing more. So now that note has got no name, whose it is. But if you find a credit card lying on the road, whose card is it? It has got the account number, it has got the card number, it has got the details, everything, and it can be tracked back to the person who has issued, when they have issued, and what are the expenses that they have made. Everything is very clear onto that. That, right? So that is the first principle we are talking about, Alcoa. Right, here the second one is legibility. Okay, what do you mean by legibility? It has to be understandable. Say for example, see, God has given handwriting to everybody, and sometimes somebody's handwriting is very neat and somebody's handwriting is not really that readable. Alright, so when a person's handwriting is not readable, I suggest them to write on a block letters. Okay, all capitals, block letters, that is going to help the person who is reading it. So whenever you write a document, you need to just remember that you are actually writing for somebody else. You are not writing just for yourself. Okay, you are giving birth to a document and the data, and this is going to grow. It has got a life cycle. You are the starting point for the document. So first principle is attributable. That means it has to be identified which person has generated this data or which document it is belonging to. And the second principle is legible. That means understandable. So whatever you write, it got to be in block letters so that people can understand. Okay, if you have a good handwriting, that's great. If you have a bad handwriting, just use bold letters, English bold capital letters. That's the best shot that you can give. Now comes to the third principle. We talk about contemporaneous when we want to tell something to be done exactly at the time when it is being done. So, say for example, you are operating a machine, and let me tell you, you are not supposed to start the machine without the proper document in hand. And that's a DD. So, sometimes, yeah, all well. All right. So now when I say contemporaneous, that means on time. It is not later, it is not before. Both are wrong actually. So contemporaneous, whenever we say contemporaneous refers to on-time entries onto the documents. And not only this, actually even contemporaneous is used in a different fascia also. What is that? Say for example, I think many people they cook their own food actually. Some people like me who have a hobby of cooking food every weekend or something. People don't like it. That's a different story. But I like it for myself. But let me tell you, you start cooking it, and now temperature has to be proper. All right, the heating temperature has to be proper. Otherwise, we can't do it. Say for example, you are doing a puri. Okay, puri as a breakfast. Right now, you drop puri in the boiling oil, and you should know when that need to be picked out. Right? If you don't pick the puri out on time, you don't get a puri, you get something else actually. Alright? So now on time is very important for us to generate the data and certify the data. So first one is attributable, second is legible, third is contemporaneous, that is on time entries, on time action and on time entries. So the next principle goes with original. What do you mean by original? See, the original means the events. See, what we are trying to do with the documents is we are trying to create an evidence of one situation. Okay, so that is the original happening. What is actually happening on the shop floor, that is being documented. Okay, and now that original one has to be, original event has to be captured straight away onto the original documents. Okay, so you can't take a printout, you can't take a rough paper, write the readings on the rough sheet, and then make a fair copy of it. You can't do that. So whenever you say you are on the shop floor, you are working over, you got to have a document, a right document, so that all the entries shall be straight away going into that document without any delay. That's what actually it means. So all the original copies must be saved, they have to be preserved, and they have to be studied whenever it is required. So the right documents and the original ones with the original signatures, they have to be safeguarded. That's what this principle talks about. So the final one, it is going to be accurate. That means unique to the point. Say for example, I have got 1.4567, okay, 1.4567 is the reading. We need to go with 1.4567 wherever we write. We can't round it off to 1.4 or 1.45 because we are missing the micrograms out there and some potent molecules, some potent drugs. That small difference may make a lot of difference actually. So we can't go with that. So the sensitivity of the apparatus, it is very costly to build in, and we have done that. And now if you start writing a rounded off numbers, probably we are going to kill ourselves with this data. Well, that is with the documentation, that is with the docs. But let me tell you what happens. Now if somebody says, Suresh has given a training on, say Suresh has given a training on data integrity. Okay, is this correct? It is half correct actually. What will you do if there are two Suresh sitting here? There are two people on the same name. How do you identify them? Or you take your surname, or you give a nickname, the guy with the spades, or the guy with the pink shirt, or the bald-headed guy, or something like that. There should be some unique point that we need to address it out, right? So now that comes into accurate. So in the same department, there are two people on the same name. We are going to have some uniqueness attached to it. So even the data goes like that. So data has to be accurate to the unique value and to the extent it can be established. Okay. So accuracy is the more precision that we don't refer to any other data. So that is very specific to that point. So these are the Alcoa-based principles. These are 5 principles, and they are attributable, legible, contemporaneous, original, and accurate. We are all good with this. I think we are through these things, and we have got a few more as a plus. I don't really talk about them very much on this training program. We are going to go beyond these principles anyway. So this is just to acknowledge that what all you know already in the data integrity aspects. Plus actually refers to complete. There are 4 more principles: complete, consistent, enduring, and available. So these 4 principles, they are actually added up later on. They are not the base principles actually, but the base principles stand up with ALCOA, Alcoa. So being complete, the document having a complete information, that is the 6th principle that has been added later on. And then 7th principle is being consistent. Okay, so we need to write all the words consistently every time. And enduring, all the documents are supposed to be preserved for a pretty long time. So we need to have permanent ballpoint ink pens, and we need to have standardized papers in such a good format of a file. So that's the reason why we have all ring binders very securely along with the sheet protectors, and we have to preserve them for a very long time. So that is one of the data integrity. You have a cheap file which can be torn very easily, that is considered a data integrity. And now you don't have a sheet protector for your papers, or they can actually say you are not preserving your data properly. So now we need to understand the other one is available. So Alcoa, attributable, legible, contemporaneous, original, accurate. These are the 5 base principles: complete, consistent, enduring, and available. So these are the four supplementing principles for data integrity. So we'll just take a look at beyond Alcoa. Right. Could you see the screen? What do you mean by integrity in data integrity? Many of the people, they think it is honesty, because the dictionary meaning of integrity is honesty or personal integrity. They're talking about not lying, doing something truthful, be honest, another kind of things they have. But it is an understanding, that's all. It's an opinion, that's all. Then what is the, that is actually considered not an appropriate meaning for integrity. People, they say staying true to yourself is integrity. No, that is not in the pharmaceutical industry. That is somewhere else actually. In pharmaceutical industry, what we mean? We mean the documents are integrated properly, one document to the other, so that the entire event shall be recorded. Okay? So the fact is, the story in the entire event, okay, the entire event has to be replicated through the documents. So from morning till evening, there are a series of incidents happening. Okay, series of happenings there. And now we should understand that we need to have the documents to replicate this story. మళ్ళీ ఈ స్టోరీ మనం చూడగలగాలి. ఏం జరిగింది నిన్న మొన్న, లేకపోతే ఈ ఈవెంట్లో ఏం జరిగింది అనే దానికి మనకి సపోర్టివ్ డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ యాక్చువల్గా ఆ స్టోరీ మొత్తం చెప్పగలగాలి. అలా చెప్పలేనప్పుడు డాక్యుమెంట్స్ లో ఇంటిగ్రిటీ లేదు అంటారు. అంటే డేటాకి ఒక డాక్యుమెంట్ కి ఇంకో డాక్యుమెంట్ కి సంబంధం లేదు. దట్స్ వాట్ దే సే. లూజ్ కనెక్షన్స్ బిట్వీన్ ద డాక్యుమెంట్స్, దే ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు బి హిట్టింగ్ ద ఇంటిగ్రిటీ ఆఫ్ దట్. సో ఇంటిగ్రిటీ అనే పదం ఏదైతే ఉందో ఆనెస్టీనో లేకపోతే నిజం చెప్పడం, అబద్ధాలు చెప్పకపోవడమో కాదు. ఏంటి మరి? ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ నుంచి వచ్చింది ఈ వర్డ్. ఇది the term data integrity, the integrity in data integrity has been coined from integration. How documents are integrated properly. That is data integrity. It is not personal integrity. It is not honesty. It is not staying true. Okay? Now, data integrity in pharma, formally, it started gaining importance in 1990s. 1995 was the first time these people, US FDA has mentioned data integrity, and after 1997 they have given one point. It's a turning point actually. So the 21 CFR, they have actually they made a official release of this term. So until that time we were looking at the data, that's all, good documentation practices, nothing more than that. But after 1997 FDA started calling data integrity issues, right? And now actually we are struggling with that, because the most widely the data actually we have collected, and most deeply we have collected the data. So now in this scenario, if at all we are unable to integrate it properly, I think we can't justify any of the happening in the manufacturing unit. So data integrity is the biggest complaint FDA has got for the pharma industry, the biggest one, twice or thrice bigger than the wrong investigations. The investigations is the second biggest trouble pharma industries is facing. FDA is complaining consistently about data integrity and the investigations since almost 10-15 years, and any number of companies, they have tried proving that, but it is really getting tough day by day because of the amount of data that we are actually generating it up. Well, so this is going to be a serious subject for us, but anyway, I have got one statement to show you. There is a writer in English called Christopher Booker. Okay, he is a story writer. He writes all the stories. Majority of the stories you might be knowing, like the English stories, half of them are from Christopher Booker. Well, he says that every story, every truth, it has got 4 different kind of dimensions, 4 different kind of phases in it. one, the story what I am telling you. Okay, so I am telling you a story. That's what I know. So it's my story. I am telling you, and the story what you are listening. Okay, somebody is listening a story. He takes up his own story version of the story. What a storyteller says is one story. What a person receives is a second story. And the third one, what the story they understand. Okay, now I have told the story, that's fine. But whether you have understood it right or not, maybe there is a filter in your mind. You are focusing more on what is not so important, and you are having your own version of story. That could be there. So the story I tell you, the story you hear, the story you understand, and if you want to retell the same story to somebody, there is a small difference between what story I have told and what's told the same story what you are saying, right? So it is four different phases. Why do I say this? Because every document has got its own story. It is changing the hands. It changes the hands of many people. Okay, so it starts from one person, it is reviewed by someone, and it is approved by someone, and later on it is improved by someone. So now this particular data, it is understood by different people in different mindsets. We should understand that. That's the psychology of the documentation part. Now, we will be caught like thieves or like dishonest people if we really don't do the things properly. That's the problem with the data integrity. It hits every individual personal integrity if somebody does a mistake on the shop floor. See this story. I have got a small story for you. There is a professor, actually, you might have seen this. It was actually very popular on YouTube and LinkedIn earlier. Professor tanaga students untaru. Okay, here there is a professor and a set of students. So professor conducts an exam. Exams రాసుంటాం కదా, మనం కూడా గోల్డెన్ ఎగ్జామ్స్ రాసుంటాం. So this professor conducts an exam, and 4 students out of his class, 4 students they were absent. They come the next day and they request professor, sir, we want the exam to be redone. So then professor asks, what's wrong with you? Why did not you come yesterday? So somebody says, and these guys, they say, sir, we went to a marriage last night, and while returning back, our tire got punctured. So with a flat tire, we couldn't come. We are in the middle of a jungle, so we came very late, and so that's the reason why we could not attend this exam. That's what they say. And now professor agrees to give the test once more, but on 2 conditions. All the 4 people were sitting in 4 different classrooms. So all 4 students sit in 4 different classrooms, and the question paper will have only 2 questions. Question number 1, what is your name? What is your name? That is the first question. And the second question is, which tire got punctured? Which tire got punctured? There are 4 tires. So which tire is punctured? That's the second question, and that's the end of the question paper. How many guys were passed? Oh, let me tell you, all the people failed because they were lying. Okay, so the story got different there, and everybody has got their own story. I first a front wheel or back wheel or right wheel or left wheel, they couldn't combine it. And investigations are also having the same format. So if you have an investigation done, you might have seen many movies actually. The police people, the investigating officers, they keep 2 people in different rooms and ask the same questions. And those people, the answers what they give, that should match. If they are not matching, they are under suspicion. They are suspects. Okay, so the data integrity investigations also go like that. So now, individually, you can see the documents are okay, perfect, no problem at all. Everything is clear, but this doesn't gel with the other paper. When you put both of them together, they are not selling the same story. That is data integrity. Okay, so we always think we need to write like this. We need attributability, legibility, contemporaneous. That is for an individual person, these principles. But let me tell you, it is beyond that. It is teamwork. Okay, so here the strategy, how to maintain perfect data integrity into the organized systems. This is the way how we do it. Number one, shift the focus from an individual to the entire team. ఒక మనిషి రాసే డాక్యుమెంట్స్ ఎప్పుడు బాగున్నాయా బాగాలేదా ఇది సరే, కానీ మొత్తం టీం అంతా కలిసి రాసిన డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ ఆ స్టోరీని రెప్లికేట్ చేస్తుందా లేదా అనేది చెక్ చేసుకోండి. Say for example, you have started writing a document and it goes to the next stage and the next stage. The same document written by 4 people, if it is connected, that's fine. But if the data is not connected, we are gone. So it is not one person's job. Data integrity, it is not just the Alcoa principles. Alcoa principles are for an individual to learn and be honest with the papers. That's all. But the entire data integrity, it is teamwork. So as a strategy, QA heads or the QA managers or who are working in quality departments who are actually checking for data integrity, they need to have these kind of strategies. First, shift your focus from individual to the entire team. So the data which is submitted by the entire team has to be studied in order to see individual errors. This is the point which is lacking very much. We look at one single document, we say this is okay. No, whether this is actually gelled properly with the other documents, that's what we need to check out. That's first strategy. The second one is like this. You have enhanced documentation not only to capture the data, but also to congregate with the data generated by the other documents. When I say other documents, you can even think about layouts. Layout is just a layout, that's all. What does it say? Oh, let me tell you, documents talk to each other documents. Okay? So one document is no way, it is hanging around. So now your layout says something and your process has got something else. That is an issue, that is an alarm, let me tell you. All the misalignments, we need to ensure that. We might have done initially, but over a period of time, what happens if you have changed your layout? What happens if you have changed your process? Did you actually check every layout, whether it is onto it or not? Okay, that is one critical example that we need to see. I just kept layout as an example, but what I mean to say is one document will talk to the other document. It doesn't talk to the process, it doesn't talk to anything. One document talks to the other document, and that has to be straight. Well, and the other point is alignment between machine capacities and the outputs. What kind of machines we are using and what kind of outputs and the time factors. These things are those things which are supposed to be considered. Okay, the frequencies, the RPMs, okay, and the time, and the person who is responsible for it, and the sequence of the activities. These are the things which actually trigger some data integrity issues. We should have a very strong eye technically whether the alignments between the machines and the documents is proper or not. Many a time it happens like 30 to 80% principle is not followed. Many a time. Your blender capacity is showing 100 liters and you have dropped in 85 liters. That becomes 85. A 5% more, that is what you have dropped in. So document is correct, your machine is correct, but the alignment is not correct. So that is a data integrity issue. No one trusts. Once one issue comes out like that, no one trusts the data or the document once again. So we'll see another one. Check on the checkpoints. Okay, how are we checking our monitoring mechanism? Police okay, so somebody does a mistake, somebody has to catch, and somebody who is trying to catch certain mistakes, they are also supposed to be caught for the mistakes. There is a dual control. FDA is screaming, Food and Drugs Authority, they are looking for monitoring mechanisms on the monitoring mechanisms. And I think one of the auditors who were very conspicuously had an argument with me. I said, sir, it is only 2-step process. He said, where are the 2 steps? I don't see 2 steps. I said, sir, a person is doing and the other person is checking. He says, that's okay, fine. Where is the mechanism for checking? And there should be a checkpoint over the over that kind of mechanism, I said, okay, come on, this is something new for me. So that is a learning point for me. So now it happens like, somebody is actually doing a document or doing an activity and documenting it, somebody is verifying it, is checking it out. And even the person who checks it, there is a very big possibility that he is doing a big mistake there. Okay, so we need to understand even the checkpoints should have a very strong uh, checking mechanism. Well, now I think I'm just coming down to the triggers. Maybe this is going to be something really interesting. Where do you get the indication of data integrity? Where can you get a suspicion, a doubt, whether these people are writing right or they are not writing right? One, the corrections we are making. Whenever you make a correction, if it is not described properly and it doesn't feel genuine, probably these corrections are going to hit back with a very big force again. So now this correction is actually hitting many other places. So it is like one correction done here, it has to coincide with all the other mistakes that we are correcting. So the second point comes on to the mistake. Mistakes are natural. Mistakes to err is human. Do you know what happens if you find a document without any mistake? Okay, say for example, I have got a file and I have shown to an auditor. I say there is no mistake in the file. In the entire file, there is no single strikeout. There is nothing. Everything is clear. Do you think he is going to trust me? Or let me tell you, you need to have sufficient number of mistakes. Like a human being actually do a mistake. Okay, for 1 full month, the entire documentation without a mistake, oh, that is something fishy. Somebody is going to look at it. Please be careful. We were all caught literally with a fabricated document very long time ago. That time data integrity was also not there. See, the people they have signed exactly on the same spot in every single page. Or trust me, our license was suspended. Manufacturing license. Serious data integrity violations. These are intentional violations. So please be careful. If you are going to present yourself in a simply superb document, or somebody has got questions on it, so keep it natural. So your document has to look like, no, it has to be natural. That's all. And we people, we are the human beings, we have got less than 1 sigma quality value. We do mistakes in every 100 entries, let me tell you, honestly. Every 100 entries we make a mistake. And if there are no mistakes, that means there is something fishy out there. And now the rewrites. Okay, now you have rewritten certain things. Okay, there is a transcription. Okay, so these rewrites, the same data you are writing in some other format in some other document. Now, here this is the alignment where we go. Very classy example is plan versus actual. Okay, so in plan you have got certain things to do, and in actuals you are replicating exactly the same thing. Oh come on, that is fishy now. So we need to see, you can't execute it 100% fully all the times. So there are some variations and we need to capture those variations. We are not supposed to keep them off. If it is not matching with the plan, it is a data integrity issue. And if it is not justifiable with the additional data, it is again a data integrity issue. So whenever you are rewriting something, I want you to be very conscious whether it is actually hitting it or not. Oh, many big people, they do mistakes. Let me tell you, many big people, very respectful designations there, but they can do the mistakes. How? Let me tell you, site master file mentions training system, quality management systems. But when they are changing the training SOP or they are adding something in the change control SOPs or the quality management system SOPs, they don't refer site master file. Oh, come on, that is going to be a very big violation. So site master file says something and your SOP says something. Not immediately, but over a period of time. 1 or 2 versions later on, there is an integrity issue there. That is going to be a trigger for the auditors. They are going to check through. And now the non-usage of images. Almost 100% of the documents, they don't contain images. Okay? So if you don't have an image in a document, we are not properly presenting it. One document, it has to show either it is a layout, or it is a label, or it is a format. Somewhere, some point in time, we need to show the flow chart, the work instructions. So we need to have some animated things, or not animated things, if I can say projected things, in the form of either a label or a form of a layout or a piping diagram or something like that. We need to have something which is relevant to that particular document. If we don't use these images, there is always a confusion, and it straight away it leads to the data integrity issues, right? Maps. Okay, so these are the tools which actually the location of the say water sampling points, or location of the drainages, or location of the emergency switches. Wherever you can, you need to go with a layout. You need to go with an image, and it helps a lot to save a lot of data integrity things out there. Alright. Well, so many people ask me, how do you use the images and all these things? Or I simply say, you say there is a part in a machine which is damaged, and you raise a deviation. Oh, let me ask you one thing. Take a picture of it, attach along with that, and that's always useful. Many of the people they do, but documents don't have that. You need to have certain images as an attachment that gives greatest authenticity. If it is not there, you need to be ready to answer many questions on that. And what is the fourth trigger? Too much explanation. Too much explanation to the auditors or to your bosses. If you are a boss, you need to catch this point. If somebody is explaining too much on one pretty small thing, that means they have done something mistake on that and they are trying to hide it through. So don't, even the documentation, if somebody makes an error, say for example, a document entry error they have made, they have strike it off with a single strike, they have signed it, and the explanation they have given too much. Some 4 or 5 lines of explanation. Now people are going to have a look at it. Why did you explain this much for a petty thing? So it has to be appropriate. We need to understand. So whenever there is too much of explanation, that means there is something fishy inside. They are trying to shield it off, right? Well, and the other one is round off and consolidations. Please be careful. If you have an SOP for rounding off, you need to have a SOP for a rounding off. And if you don't, you need to have one and you follow one. Okay? Rounding offs are always considered as inaccurate. You remember that accuracy, we are talking about accurate values, right? If you are rounding off the figures, probably we are going to suffer a lot. And consolidation, don't try to make any consolidations. Data has to be very clear, like metadata. It has to be stepwise, it has to be unit-wise, and it has to be everything properly organized. Don't consolidate like a summary and write a feeding on that. Okay, so you just write a summary, consolidating all this subject, that is not going to work. So we don't want that. So we want very clear, specific, systematic, unit-wise data while we are writing. That gives complete, honest understandings on the subject, on the data that we are actually gathering. So these are the trigger points. So I just want to make sure that you go through these slides once again. Alcoa are the principles that we are talking, and those principles which are not written here, they are complete, consistent, enduring, and available. Okay, so these are the 4 principles which I didn't mention in the slide, but these are also, so these are actually added on later part of time. So this is one slide which we know and which we need to remember though. And now I was just trying to help you understand what actually data integrity means. It is not the honesty, it is not the truthfulness, but actually it is the integration. How one document is integrated or one system is integrated to the other. That's what it is mentioning. So don't have a misunderstanding of data integrity of the term, right? So this is a simple concept and a story just to know how the investigations go on. And I just gave you a few glimpses of general strategy for you and your team or your organization. You can actually shift your focus from an individual. All Alcoa principles, they talk about individual, but it doesn't talk about team. So we need to have all the documents generated by all the team members. Then the data integrity issues are going to pop up. When you look at the individual things, nothing will be there. Everything will be fine and fit. Next one, I said that documents talk to each other, and the general strategy is that we need to use layouts, and there are certain documents which seem to be nothing, but they are still having a role in data integrity. And machine capacities and events, they have to match. This is what I tried to explain here. And then we need to have a monitoring mechanism over the monitoring mechanism. And now the triggers. So please be careful. This is the way how the auditors actually pierce into our shield of data integrity. We are shielding ourselves, but these people, they can make a hole in the shield and they can go into that. And that holes are these: the corrections, mistakes, the rewrites, non-usage of images, too much explanations, round-offs, and consolidations. We are going to lead the auditors directly into the wrong documents. So please be careful here. Now, are you guys still with me?
Yes, sir.
Well, so any questions? Any questions? I am ready to take any questions from you.
Clear, sir. But I have one small doubt, sir. So what is the relation between, I think maybe the data must be accuracy,
Yeah.
reliability, everything is okay.
Yeah.
So there is a link between 21 CFR and the data. I mean, what is the Alcoa? That is one of the parameters. Whenever you are working, whenever you are work, immediately you should have to write the work and sign and date.
Correct.
It's related to 21 CFR, sir. I mean, what are the maybe functionality you can do it there. In instrument also, everything also. That must be, comes the printout, everything, my name, who is the user, who is the, I mean, operating, everything should be there now. So what is the difference between the writing matter and the printed matter?
There is no difference, in fact. Actually, we call it as an electronic document and a physical document. So the electronic documents are the form of data, which is supposed to be on a document. The same data is in the electronic form. So the same principles apply to data integrity on the electronic documents and on the physical documents. Exactly the same. So when we are preparing a format for a printout, I think we need to mention all these parameters, and then only we can actually make it effective. Otherwise, it is not fit a document.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you for the question. So did I tell you? Did I answer you well?
Yes, sir. Exactly, sir. But in that also, I have one more doubt, sir.
Go ahead.
Actually, in morning session, we are completing CSP validation.
Correct.
Into the CSP validation related to 21 CFR, related to Alcoa, sir?
21 CFRs, of course, and Alcoa is a part of 21 CFR. And yeah, so the subparts are different. The subparts 210 and 211, they refer to the finished formulations and the good manufacturing practices. So we have got 11 subpart, and we call it GAMP, good automated manufacturing practices out there. So it is same 21 CFRs, but in different sections.
And I'm thinking that it's very, very correlation, because for that, that means
yes, correct. They are based on 21 CFRs, part 211 and 210. They are
yes, sir. Yes.
They're based on.
I'm clear, sir.
Well,
Exactly, I'm clear from your answers. Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So any other questions?
Nothing, sir. I'm clear, sir.
Very well. Thank you. Is there anybody else who want to ask something? Well, that's fine. I think if you don't have any questions, I'm sure. I think you have some real good inputs in the session, and thank you for Royal Quality Pillars as well. So to have the platform on here, and you can reach us whenever you feel that it has got a some unique things. As the day passes on, as you start working with some processes and the machines and the day-to-day routine things, you may find some problems, you may find some issues popping up right in front of your eyes, and that is so. Invite you, if at all you have certain questions, even at the later point in time, please come back to us, book a slot, and we have got explanation done on that. So we have a panel of experts explaining you and giving right away with the data integrity issues or any other further matter, anything. So you can book your own slot and have a talk with Royal Quality Pillars anytime you please. All right. Very well. So thank you, all gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for the time. And I look forward to interact with you much closer in coming days. Thank you.